And thanks for joining us tonight at 11 o'clock. You know, it is a troubling trend that we've seen all across the country and right here in our own area in central Indiana. Schools and classrooms threatened with violence, and those threats are coming from their own students. In our big story tonight, we'll take a look at some of the threats that have been made against some of our local schools. We'll give you the latest on the deadly school shooting in Michigan and what police tonight are urging for you to do in your very own home. But first, our Emily Longnecker explains what led to the arrest of two teens in Fishers. These were arrests in separate incidents.
Two arrests of two Fishers teens in just 2 days for allegedly making threats at a local school. Fishers police say they hope the arrests send the message that these kind of actions will not be tolerated and have serious consequences.
Even though the alleged threats were just 24 hours apart, Fishers police say they're not connected. On Wednesday, Fishers police arrested a 13-year-old girl for allegedly making a verbal threat against Riverside Junior High School. The teen's arrest followed an investigation after the school, police, and school resource officers learned of the alleged threat, which police later found not to be credible. The teen's been charged with intimidation, a level 6 felony, and released to her parents. Thursday, Fishers police arrested a second teen, this time a 13-year-old male. That arrest came after the school and police were notified of an alleged verbal threat involving a bomb at Riverside Junior High School. Investigators found that wasn't true. The male student was charged with felony false informing and released to his parents. The arrests come a week after Fishers police and the Hamilton Southeastern School District were planning a virtual town hall to discuss the response to threats in schools. Fishers police say the meeting was in response to concerns after the recent school shooting in Michigan that left 4 students dead and several injured. That virtual town hall is still planned for next Thursday. Hamilton Southeastern Schools has an anonymous reporting system to alert them to possible threats against their schools. The district issued a statement Thursday saying all threats of school violence are taken seriously and reported to the Fishers Police Department for investigation. They said students who make threats will face disciplinary action from the school and also criminal charges from police. The district statement spoke directly to parents, saying parents should remind their students that any threat, even if they think it's a joke, will result in consequences.
And an issue on the south side as well. Franklin police also arrested a student for making a threat at Franklin Community Middle School. Police tell us they interviewed the suspect and the suspect's mom before making that arrest. And that threat followed another possible threat that was made over the weekend. We're told that wasn't credible, but the district has responded by increasing the number of officers at its schools. And they tell us they plan to keep those extra officers in place until the end of this semester. Oxford, Michigan, a suburb outside of Detroit, is the latest school to have a shooting. 4 students there were killed, and one of those students had a funeral today. 17-year-old Justin Schilling received a police escort to a local golf club. They had that ceremony tonight. This is where his family and his friends came together to remember and honor him. His obituary described him as a natural athlete with a lifelong love for all kinds of sports. Now, besides the 4 students killed, there were 2 students who were hurt in the Oxford school shooting. And those 2 kids' parents now are suing the school district and also the school superintendent. They're seeking $200 million. The parents say the school failed to consider the safety of other students and knew that shooter was a threat. The teenage suspect now is facing murder charges for the death of 4 students. His parents are also charged. They're charged with involuntary manslaughter. Today, Detroit's police chief and county prosecutor talked about the recent school threats, and they said their offices now are investigating 10 more cases ever since the Oxford school shooting. In the last week, 3 students out of Detroit have been charged for making or falsely reporting threats against schools. The police chief, the prosecutor, came together to urge parents, not only in Michigan, but in every single state, to have a conversation with their children about the severity of threats and even falsely reporting them. And that tonight wraps up our big story.